I previously asked about the relationship between the capital plan and the operating budgets. And my understanding is that the capital budget went from 26 million in 2019 to 70 million, 70 in 2020. And there is no question that that will have an impact on the operating budget. I haven't heard any discussion of that, and I'd appreciate it. Also, in light of, again, precipitous budget increases and headcount increases, particularly since 2016, which is what we've been provided with here. So I want to contextualize this. It was stated earlier that, these were...
Is that a question, Councillor Hardwick?
Yes, please let me finish. Okay. Thank you. That these are issues that have come from council over the years. Well, this council has been here for 1 year, and I want to make sure that we're focused on this council and not prior councils. But we do have a significantly larger capital budget, and that must have an impact on the operating costs. So can you please elaborate on that?
Maybe just one thing I'll notice there in the budget this year, we put a significantly more emphasis on sharing the capital plan. Last year, it just talked about the budget amount for that year, but you didn't see where it came from. So in the capital section, you can see the capital plan that was approved, and you can see how that's driving the capital budget. So if there's projects there that you think you don't want to move forward with, you'll be able to see them from the capital plan versus just what's being executed this year. So I just wanted to share that because we added that because of the question from last year about not knowing what was in the capital plan and being asked to approve the budget. So that's in there this year, and the team did a lot of work to pull that information together for council. As far as the impact on the operating budget, so the main part that impacts the operating budget in capital is the renewal of our facilities, and that's generally debt funded. If we talk specifically on tax, that's facilities, and there's a little bit of sewer renewal that's debt funded. And I think, did you get that chart that we had sent out yesterday? Did that get to council? It had all of the items that council is being asked to approve for the 2020 budget and what the impact, the size of it would be.
Did that include the Granville Connector and the relocation of the archives, for example?
The archives is definitely on that sheet, yes. I believe the Granville Connector may be funded out of DCLs.
Still has an impact.
So it's not impacting to property taxes.
Again,
so today we were talking specifically about property taxes, so it's not on the list.
No, but if there are reductions in the scope of the capital budget, it is going to have impact on the operating budget.
On the operating budget, but not the property tax funded portion of the operating budget.
Okay, well, I'd like to dig into that. Is it possible, I've asked this before, to get the Appendix H of fixed costs with numbers attached to it, so that, again, I'm hoping to do a more complete analysis and would like to be able to have some real numbers to work with in spreadsheet form.
Yeah, I think we had that question earlier, and what we tried to do with Appendix H was council asked us, can you reprioritize the work you're doing towards council priorities? So we asked the whole organization to do that, to look at the work they're doing, what's aligned to council priorities. For us to quantify all of those would be a huge amount of work because we don't do activity-based costing. If we're working on a particular initiative, issuing a green bond, staff would have to go back and calculate the number of hours they'd be working on the green bond. So it's a huge, huge amount of work that we wouldn't be able to complete for this budget process. If there's some big programs, we can definitely quantify those. And I think most on the new initiatives, we've done all of that. On the new initiatives and the capital, we've quantified that. And on the council priorities, we did do work to quantify the existing budget that was focused on council priorities. So that's the area we focused on, not on everything.
Okay, well, Appendix H exists. It was 380 odd items. It would be nice to have them with actual dollars and not just a tick box so that we can evaluate them.
Well, this year we did, for the 4 priorities, we did do that. If there's a particular area that you'd want us to look at, maybe we can do that for next year, but we committed to doing it for the 4 priorities for this budget.
Well, it was for service gaps and for the new investments, but not for the fixed costs.
A question?
Well, I'm still requesting the same thing that I need to do to see so I can do a proper evaluation.
Your time is up, so